The snow continues to fall outside the cabin in the same patient, unhurried way it has been falling all evening. You are lying in the bed beneath the heavy patchwork quilt, your eyes closed, your body warm and still. But sleep has not fully arrived yet. It is close. It hovers at the edges of your awareness like fog at the treeline, present but not yet surrounding you. And that is perfectly fine. There is no rush toward sleep tonight. The cabin is warm. The fire is steady. The forest is silent except for the wind. You can take as long as you need. You can lie here for hours, drifting in and out of that gentle space between waking and sleeping, and the night will hold you through all of it without complaint, without impatience, without any expectation at all. You become aware of small sounds that you did not notice before. The wood of the cabin walls makes tiny creaking sounds as the temperature shifts between the warmth inside and the cold outside. These sounds are not alarming. They are the sounds of a living structure, a building that breathes and adjusts and settles, the way a sleeping animal shifts its weight without waking. Each creak is brief and soft, followed by silence, then another creak somewhere else, as if the cabin is having a quiet conversation with itself about the weather. The stove adds its own voice, a low hum of burning wood, punctuated by the occasional pop of sap or the soft collapse of an ember. Together, these sounds create a texture of gentle noise that fills the silence without breaking it. You open your eyes just slightly and look at the ceiling above you. The dark wooden beams cross the low ceiling in parallel lines, their surfaces smooth and warm in the faint orange glow from the stove. Between the beams, the ceiling boards are fitted tightly together, and in the firelight, you can see the grain of the wood, long flowing lines that curve and merge like rivers seen from a great height. A small knot in one board catches the light and glows like a tiny amber eye. You trace the wood grain with your gaze, following the lines from one end of the ceiling to the other, slowly, without purpose. The patterns are endlessly complex and endlessly soothing, the kind of thing that fills your attention without demanding any thought. You think about the trees that became this cabin. They stood in this forest once, tall and straight, their roots deep in the rocky soil, their branches heavy with snow each winter just like the trees standing outside right now. Someone cut them down, many years ago, and shaped them into walls and a roof and a floor, and arranged them into this small warm box in the clearing. The trees became the cabin, but they are still part of the forest. The forest still surrounds them. The snow still falls on them. And when the wind moves through the pines outside, the cabin walls seem to remember, creaking softly in response, as if the wood still feels the wind the way it did when it was standing. The thought is quiet and comforting. You are sheltered inside something that was once alive, and in a way, still is. The candle on the bedside table has burned very low now. The flame is small, no bigger than the tip of your smallest finger, flickering gently in a pool of clear wax. The light it casts has retreated to a tiny circle around the base of the candlestick, leaving the rest of the room to the deeper amber glow of the stove. You watch the small flame for a while. It trembles very slightly with each breath you take, as if it is breathing with you, matching its rhythm to yours. Then, very quietly, without any fuss, the flame reaches the end of the wick and goes out. A thin ribbon of smoke rises from the blackened tip, curling upward in a delicate spiral before disappearing into the warm air. The room does not become dark. The stove light remains, steady and orange. Without the candle, the quality of the light in the cabin changes. It becomes warmer, deeper, more uniform. The orange glow from the stove door reaches every surface with the same gentle intensity, turning the log walls the color of dark honey, the ceiling beams the color of amber, the quilt on your bed a patchwork of soft shadows and warm highlights. The corners of the room have disappeared into pleasant darkness, and the boundaries of the space have softened, as if the cabin has expanded slightly to accommodate the night. You feel this softening in your own body too. Your muscles, already relaxed, seem to release even further, finding new depths of ease that you did not know existed. Your jaw has unclenched completely. Your tongue rests loosely in your mouth. Even your eyelids, closed now, feel lighter. Outside, the wind shifts direction. It comes now from the north instead of the west, and it brings with it a slightly different sound, deeper and more resonant, as if it is passing through a wider stretch of forest before reaching the cabin. The pine trees respond to the change with a soft collective sigh, their branches adjusting to the new angle of pressure, releasing small amounts of snow that fall to the ground with faint, muffled thuds. You hear these sounds through the cabin walls, distant and gentle, the way you might hear someone moving in another room of a large house. They are the sounds of a world continuing its business while you rest, and their presence is reassuring rather than disturbing. The forest is awake so that you do not have to be. You pull the quilt a little higher, up to your chin now, and the weight of it settles across your chest and shoulders with a firmness that feels like being gently pressed into the mattress. The warmth beneath the quilt has reached a perfect temperature, the kind that makes your skin feel completely neutral, neither warm nor cool, as if the boundary between your body and the air has dissolved. Your feet, tucked deep beneath the layers, are cocooned in heat. Your hands rest on your chest, palms down, fingers loosely curled, rising and falling with each breath. The rhythm of your breathing has become so slow that each breath seems to take a very long time to complete, a long, slow inhalation that fills your chest gradually, followed by a long, slow exhalation that empties it completely. The stove continues its quiet burning. The oak log inside has settled into a deep, steady combustion, its surface covered in a thick layer of glowing embers that pulse with a slow, rhythmic light, brighter for a moment, then dimmer, then brighter again, as if the fire is breathing too. The heat it produces is constant and enveloping, filling the cabin from floor to ceiling with a warmth that has no edges, no variation, no gaps. It is the kind of warmth that makes you forget what cold feels like, that makes winter seem like an abstraction, something that exists only in theory, only beyond the walls, only in that other world where the snow falls and the wind blows and the trees stand in their patient dark rows. A long time passes. Or perhaps no time passes at all. In the cabin, in the warmth, in the deep still center of the winter night, time has become unreliable. The clock on no wall ticks. No phone glows with the hour. The only measure of time is the slow burning of the fire and the slow falling of the snow, and both of these move at a pace that defies measurement. You lie in the bed and feel the night around you like a vast, dark, gentle sea. You are floating in it. You are held by it. The quilt is your raft. The mattress is your shore. And the cabin is your harbor, small and warm and safe, anchored in the forest clearing while the snow falls and the wind moves through the pines and the darkness stretches on and on and on. You hear a sound from outside that is different from the wind. A soft, high-pitched call, distant but clear, rising and falling in a pattern that repeats twice and then stops. An owl. Somewhere in the forest, perched on a branch high above the snow, an owl is calling into the dark. The sound is wild and beautiful and completely unafraid. It carries through the cold air with a clarity that seems almost impossible, as if the silence of the forest exists for no other purpose than to carry this one small voice from tree to tree, from clearing to clearing, from the world of waking creatures to the ears of those who are trying to sleep. You listen for the call to come again. After a long moment, it does, the same two notes, the same rising and falling pattern, softer now, as if the owl has turned its head away. The owl falls silent, and the forest returns to its baseline of wind and snow and deep, layered quiet. You let the memory of the call settle into you the way the warmth of the tea settled earlier, a small gift from the night, offered freely and received without effort. The forest is full of such gifts, you realize. The sound of the wind in the pines. The silence of the falling snow. The warmth of the stove. The weight of the quilt. The softness of the pillow. Each one is a small act of kindness from a world that asks nothing in return. You do not need to earn these things. You do not need to deserve them. They are simply here, surrounding you, holding you, making the night as comfortable and as beautiful as it can possibly be. Your mind has grown very quiet. The thoughts that usually fill it, the plans and memories and worries and calculations that buzz through your waking hours like bees through a summer garden, have all settled and gone still. They have not disappeared. They are simply resting, the way everything rests on a night like this, lying dormant beneath the snow, waiting for morning, waiting for spring, waiting for whenever they are needed again. For now, your mind is a cleared table, an empty room, a field of fresh snow with no footprints. There is nothing on it. Nothing moving across it, nothing demanding attention. Just space. Just warmth. Just the slow, deep, rhythmic pulse of your own breathing and the gentle sounds of the cabin holding itself together against the cold. The stove needs another log. You know this somewhere in the back of your awareness, not as an urgent thought but as a soft, distant observation, the way you might notice a cloud passing across the sky while lying in a meadow. You do not want to get up. Your body has become so comfortable, so warm, so perfectly arranged beneath the quilt that the idea of moving feels almost impossible. But the stove needs tending, and some deep, practical part of you knows that the cabin will grow cold if you let the fire die completely. So you move. Slowly. Carefully. Pushing the quilt aside just enough to swing your legs out. Your feet find the wool rug, still warm from the stove heat, and you stand, swaying slightly in the thick drowsiness. You cross the small room in 3 steps and open the stove door. The coals inside are still hot, glowing with a deep red-orange heat that pushes against your face and hands. The oak log has burned down to a long shape of white ash and glowing embers, still recognizable as wood but transformed into something lighter and more fragile. You take 2 fresh logs from the stack beside the stove. The first is pine, light and resinous, which will catch quickly and burn hot. The second is a thick piece of birch, its bark white and papery, which will burn more slowly and carry the fire through the rest of the night. You place the pine log on the coals first and watch it begin to smoke almost immediately. Within seconds, A bright flame appears along its edge, cheerful and warm. You set the birch log beside it and close the stove door to a narrow gap. The fire revives quickly. You can hear it through the stove door, a renewed crackling and hissing as the new wood catches and the flames grow stronger. The heat pushes outward in a fresh wave, reaching your legs and arms and face with a warmth that feels like sunlight breaking through clouds. You stand beside the stove for a moment, your hands held out toward the heat, palms open, fingers spread, absorbing the warmth through your skin. Your shadow stretches behind you across the floor, long and dark, moving slightly as the firelight dances. The cabin feels alive again, recharged, ready for another few hours of steady, patient warmth. You turn back toward the bed and cross the room again, your feet finding the rug, then the cool floorboards, then the rug beside the bed. You climb back into bed and pull the quilt up again. The brief exposure to the cooler air of the room makes the warmth beneath the quilt feel even more luxurious, even more complete. Your body sinks back into the mattress with a gratitude that is almost physical, every muscle releasing the small effort of standing and walking and bending, returning to the deep, heavy rest it was enjoying before. The pillow is still shaped to your head. The sheets are still warm where your body was lying. Everything is exactly as you left it, as if the bed had been holding your place, keeping your warmth, waiting patiently for your return. You close your eyes again and feel the darkness settle over you like a second quilt, soft and heavy and endlessly comforting. The new pine log in the stove burns brightly for a while, filling the cabin with a stronger light and a fresh pine scent that mixes with the deeper smell of the oak ash beneath it. You can hear the resin popping inside the wood, small sharp sounds like tiny fireworks, each one releasing a burst of fragrant pine oil into the fire. The birch log beside it takes longer to catch, its dense wood resisting the flames before gradually surrendering, the white bark curling and blackening as the heat penetrates deeper. Soon both logs are burning together, the pine bright and fast, the birch slow and steady, and their combined heat fills the cabin with a warmth that seems to have no limit, a warmth that could keep this small room comfortable through any winter, through any night, through any darkness. The wind outside has settled into a steady, constant sound, no longer rising and falling in gusts but maintaining a single unbroken note that seems to come from every direction at once. It is the sound of the entire forest breathing together, millions of pine needles vibrating in unison, millions of branches swaying in the same rhythm, creating a single vast chord that hangs in the air without beginning or end. You listen to it from your bed, from beneath your quilt, from inside your cabin, and the sound wraps around you the way the forest wraps around the clearing, completely and without gap. It is the most natural sound in the world. It has been here for thousands of years, and it will be here for thousands more, and tonight it is playing just for you. The snow has been falling for many hours now. If you could see the clearing from above, you would see that the cabin has become a small dark shape in a field of white, its roof thick with snow, its chimney still trailing its thin line of smoke. The trail you walked to get here has disappeared completely, buried under inches of fresh powder. The animal tracks are gone too. The entire forest floor has been renewed, smoothed, made blank and clean and new. In the morning, when you open the door, the world will be transformed, every surface covered, every rough edge softened, every branch and rock and stump wearing a thick white coat of snow. But that is hours away. Right now, the snow falls in darkness, unseen and unheard, doing its quiet work of covering the world while you rest. You shift your position slightly in the bed, rolling onto your side, and the quilt adjusts with you, maintaining its seal of warmth around your body. Your knees draw up slightly, and your arms fold close to your chest. The pillow shifts beneath your head, and you press your cheek into its softness. From this position, you can see the stove through half-open eyes, a dark shape against the log wall with a thin line of bright orange light showing through the gap in the door. The light flickers gently, casting tiny moving patterns on the floor and the nearest wall, shadows that dance and sway without ever leaving their small territory. You watch these shadows the way you might watch fish moving in a deep pool, slowly, dreamily, with no desire to catch or follow or understand them. A long, slow breath fills your chest. You feel your ribs expand against the mattress and the quilt. Then the breath leaves you, and your body settles even deeper. Another breath. And another. Each one is slower than the last, each one requires less effort, each one takes you further from the surface of waking and closer to the deep, warm, dark water of sleep. The fire in the stove matches your rhythm, burning lower and slower as the pine log is consumed and the birch log takes over, its denser wood producing a steadier, less dramatic heat. The cabin is in no hurry. The night is in no hurry. The snow falls at its own pace. The wind blows at its own strength. And you breathe at your own rhythm, slow and deep and completely at ease. Somewhere in the forest, a branch gives way under the weight of accumulated snow. You hear it as a distant crack followed by a soft whump as the branch and its snow hit the ground. The sound travels through the cold air and through the cabin walls and reaches you in your bed as a muffled, gentle interruption that lasts no more than a second or two before the silence closes over it again. It is the kind of sound that would have startled you in another context, in a city, in a building, in a place where unexpected sounds carry the possibility of danger. But here, in the forest, in the cabin, in the deep safety of the winter night, it is just another voice in the ongoing quiet conversation between the trees and the snow and the wind. The hours move past like clouds. You are not counting them. You are not tracking the night's progress toward morning. You are simply lying here, warm and heavy and still, letting the darkness hold you, letting the fire warm you, letting the sounds of the cabin and the forest fill the space that thoughts used to occupy. Your mind has become very simple. It holds no plans. It makes no lists. It replays no conversations and rehearses no confrontations. It is simply present, resting in this moment, in this bed, in this cabin, in this forest, in this night. And that simplicity is the most restful thing of all. It is the thing your mind has been wanting all day, all week, all month, this permission to stop working and simply be. The stove light dims slightly as the pine log burns out, leaving the birch to carry the fire alone. The birch burns differently than the pine, with a steadier, less flickering flame that produces a more constant heat and a more even light. The cabin settles into this new equilibrium, the shadows on the walls becoming more stable, the temperature leveling off at a warmth that is deep and consistent. The air smells of birch bark now, a clean, slightly sweet scent that is different from the sharp resin of the pine. It is a gentler smell, more subtle, and it fills the cabin the way the warmth fills the cabin, completely and without effort. You breathe it in with each slow inhalation and feel it settle into your body like a natural sedative. You are very close to sleep now. The boundary between waking and dreaming has become thin, almost transparent, and you drift across it without noticing, spending moments on one side and then the other, unable to tell which is which. The cabin is there in both states. The warmth is there. The sound of the wind is there, but in the dreaming state, the cabin has become slightly different, slightly larger perhaps, or slightly more magical, its walls lined not just with logs but with memories and possibilities and half-formed images that shift and blend and dissolve before you can name them. A pine forest that goes on forever. A trail that leads nowhere and everywhere. A sky full of snow that falls upward instead of down. These images do not disturb you. They are not strange. They are simply the language of a mind that is letting go of logic and allowing itself to play. The owl calls again from somewhere in the forest. 2 notes, rising and falling, the same pattern as before. This time, the sound reaches you from a greater distance, as if the owl has moved deeper into the woods, farther from the cabin, farther from the clearing. Or perhaps you have moved deeper into sleep, farther from the surface where sounds are clear and close. Either way, the call is softer now, more like a memory than a sound, a gentle echo that touches the edge of your awareness and then recedes without leaving a mark. The owl is out there in the cold and the dark, perfectly at home, perfectly at peace, doing what owls do on winter nights, calling and hunting and flying on silent wings through the snow-covered forest. It does not need your attention. It does not need your concern. It simply is. The fire in the stove has settled into its deepest, most patient phase. The birch log glows rather than flames, its surface a landscape of bright orange lines and dark fissures, producing heat without drama, warmth without spectacle. The coals beneath it have formed a thick bed of ash-covered embers that will hold their heat for hours, radiating steadily upward and outward, keeping the cabin warm long after the last visible flame has died. This is the fire's night shift, its quiet mode, its way of working while the world sleeps. It asks nothing of you. It needs no tending, no adjustment, no attention. It will do its job silently and faithfully until morning, and when you wake, the cabin will still be warm, and the stove will still hold a core of heat that can be coaxed back into flame with a few pieces of kindling. Your body has become so heavy that it feels as though it has merged with the mattress, as though the boundary between your flesh and the bed has dissolved and you have become part of the furniture of the cabin, as still and as solid as the stove or the table or the log walls themselves. Your breathing is the only movement in the room. Even the fire has become nearly still, its glow steady and unchanging. The wind outside maintains its constant note, neither rising nor falling. The snow falls with perfect, silent regularity. Everything in the world has reached a state of equilibrium, a perfect balance of warmth and cold, of sound and silence, of motion and stillness, and you are at the center of it all, held in place by nothing more than warmth and gravity and the deep, animal knowledge that this is where you belong. The night stretches on ahead of you, vast and generous, offering hours more of darkness and rest. There is no alarm set. There is no appointment in the morning. There is no reason to wake at any particular time. The morning will come when it comes, gently, with pale gray light filtering through the small cabin windows, and you will wake naturally, slowly, without urgency, the way animals wake in their dens, the way flowers open at dawn, not because they are told to but because the light invites them. Until then, the night is yours. every minute of it, every hour, every slow, sweet, silent stretch of darkness between now and the first pale glow of winter morning on the snow. You dream of walking through the forest in summer. The same forest, the same pines, but green now instead of white, the ground covered in soft brown needles instead of snow. Sunlight filters through the canopy in long golden shafts, and the air is warm and full of the scent of heated pine resin. You walk slowly along the trail, your footsteps silent on the needles, and the forest is alive with small sounds, birdsong, insects, the distant trickle of a stream. The cabin appears ahead of you in the clearing, the same cabin, but different in summer, its log walls lighter, its roof bare, wildflowers growing around its base. The door is open. You walk toward it. And as you cross the threshold, the dream shifts, and you are back in winter, back in bed, back beneath the quilt, and the fire is still burning, and the snow is still falling, and everything is warm and safe. The dream fades, and in its place there is nothing. Not darkness exactly, but an absence so complete and so comfortable that it feels like the softest thing you have ever touched. No images, no sounds, no thoughts, no sensations except warmth and weight and the faintest possible awareness that you are breathing. This is the deepest part of sleep, the place beneath dreams, the place where your body does its most important work, repairing and restoring and renewing itself for another day. You are here now, and you will stay here for a long time, held by the warmth of the cabin and the weight of the quilt and the deep, constant, patient heat of the stove. Nothing can reach you here. Nothing can disturb you. You are as safe as it is possible to be. Time passes in this deep place without any sense of duration. It could be minutes. It could be hours. The cabin continues to exist around you, solid and warm, its walls keeping out the cold, its stove keeping in the heat. The snow continues to fall outside, adding layer upon layer to the world's white blanket. The wind continues to move through the pines with its single sustained note. And the fire continues to burn in the stove, the birch log now reduced to a long shape of glowing coals, still hot, still radiating, still faithful to its purpose. Everything is as it was. Everything is as it should be. The night holds its course. The forest holds its peace. And you hold your rest, deep and complete and undisturbed. Gradually, in the way that dawn arrives in winter, slowly and almost imperceptibly, you become aware of yourself again. Not fully awake, not even close, but aware in the way that a sleeping person is sometimes aware that they are sleeping, a faint consciousness that floats above the deep water of sleep without breaking the surface. You know that you are in the cabin. You know that you are warm. You know that the fire is still burning. You know that the snow is still falling. These facts arrive gently, without demanding any response, like leaves drifting down from a tree and landing softly on still water. You receive them and let them be. You do not open your eyes. You do not move. You simply hold these quiet certainties in the palm of your sleeping mind. The stove makes a soft settling sound, a quiet shift of coals rearranging themselves in the grate. The sound is barely audible, but in the absolute silence of the deep night, it reaches you clearly, a gentle reminder that the fire is still alive, still working, still keeping its promise of warmth. The birch coals are thick and hot, glowing with a deep amber light that will not fade for hours. Even when the last visible glow disappears, the ash will hold heat, and the stove itself, its cast iron body thick and heavy, will continue to radiate warmth into the cabin long after the fire has technically ended. The cabin was built for nights like this. It was built to hold warmth the way a cup holds water, completely and without leaking. The wind has changed again. It is softer now, barely more than a whisper, as if the forest has pulled a blanket over itself and settled deeper into its own rest. The pine trees stand still in the darkness, their branches laden with snow, their trunks dark and strong. They have survived hundreds of winters in this forest, and they will survive hundreds more. They do not worry about the cold. They do not fear the darkness. They simply stand, rooted and patient, doing what trees do, growing so slowly that motion is invisible, breathing so quietly that only the wind can hear them. And tonight, they stand around your cabin in their wide circle, like sentinels, like friends, keeping watch while you sleep. A small sound reaches you from the roof. Not the wind, not a branch, but the soft patter of snow falling from the edge of the eaves to the ground below. The snow on the roof has grown thick enough that its own weight pushes the lowest layer to the edge, where it slides off in small quiet avalanches that land in the snowbank building up beside the cabin wall. Each miniature slide makes a sound like a whispered word, soft and brief and immediately absorbed by the silence that follows. You hear 3 of these small slides in succession, then nothing for a long time, then another one, then silence again. The pattern is irregular and unpredictable, and yet it is not at all disturbing. It is simply the cabin shedding snow, the way a dog shakes water from its coat, naturally and without ceremony. You are floating now. Not physically, of course, but in every other way. Your body lies heavy and warm in the bed, anchored by the quilt and the mattress and gravity, but your awareness floats above it, around it, through it, untethered to any particular thought or sensation. It moves through the cabin like warm air, touching the walls, the shelves, the stove, the stack of firewood, the foggy windows, the dark wooden door. It moves through the walls and into the forest, touching the snow-covered pines, the buried trail, the sleeping animals in their dens and burrows, the owl on its branch, the stars hidden behind the clouds. And then it returns, gently, softly, back to the bed, back to the warmth, back to the body that waits there, patient and still. The deepest hours of the night have arrived. These are the hours when the world is at its most still, its most quiet, its most complete. The hours between midnight and dawn, when even the wind seems to sleep, when the snow falls with perfect, absolute silence, when the darkness is so total that there is no difference between having your eyes open and having them closed. These are the sacred hours, the ones that belong to no one and to everyone, the ones that pass without being measured or noticed or remembered. They are the hours when the body heals, when the mind clears, when the spirit renews itself for another round of living. And they are here now, surrounding you, holding you, giving you everything they have. The cabin creaks once, softly, like a joint settling after a long day of work. The sound is so quiet that it barely registers, but it adds one more layer to the rich, gentle soundscape of the night. Fire, wind, snow, wood. These 4 elements have been keeping each other company for thousands of years, long before anyone built a cabin in this clearing, long before anyone thought to shelter from the cold. They are ancient companions, and their conversation is ancient too, repeated every winter, in every forest, across every snowy landscape on Earth. Tonight, you are part of that conversation. You are the fifth element, the human one, the one who listens and receives and rests. And the other four are glad of your company. They make room for you. They include you in their circle. If you could step outside the cabin right now and look up, you would see that the clouds have thinned in one small patch of sky directly above the clearing. Through this opening, a handful of stars are visible, bright and sharp against the absolute darkness, their light traveling across unfathomable distances to reach this small patch of forest on this small night on this small planet. The stars do not know about the cabin. They do not know about the fire or the snow or the sleeping person beneath the patchwork quilt. They simply shine, as they have always shone, pouring their ancient light into the void with a generosity that asks nothing in return. But their light is here, falling on the snow, falling on the roof, falling on the clearing, adding its own faint, distant warmth to the warmth of the fire and the warmth of the blankets. Inside the cabin, nothing has changed. The stove glows. The quilt holds its warmth. The pillow cradles your head. The floor, the walls, the ceiling, all of them are doing exactly what they were built to do, keeping the cold out and the warmth in, creating this small pocket of comfort in the vast winter darkness. You are breathing slowly, steadily, deeply, each breath a wave on a calm shore, each exhale a small release of tension that you did not even know you were holding. Your heart beats in your chest with a rhythm so slow and so steady that it seems to belong not to you but to the cabin itself, as if the building has a heartbeat and you have simply synchronized yours with it. Hours pass. The fire dims further. The birch coals, which have been glowing steadily all this time, begin to fade from bright orange to a deeper, darker red. The heat they produce is still significant, still warming the cabin, but it is gentler now, less insistent, more like a memory of warmth and warmth itself. The stove body, thick and heavy with stored heat, takes over from the coals, radiating its own warmth into the room in a slow, steady release that will continue for a long time yet. The air in the cabin is perfectly still. No draft moves. No curtain stirs. Even the dust particles, if you could see them, would be hanging motionless in the warm air, suspended in the gentle orange light like tiny planets in a tiny universe. Outside, the snow has slowed. It still falls, but more gently now, in smaller flakes that drift down through the darkness with an almost dreamlike laziness. The ground beneath is deeply covered, soft and smooth, every feature of the landscape buried and rounded and made new. The clearing around the cabin is a perfect white circle, unbroken by any mark, untouched by any foot or paw or branch. It looks like a page that has been prepared for writing but left blank, a space full of possibility and stillness, waiting for whatever the morning might bring. A deer could cross it at dawn, leaving the first delicate line of tracks. A bird could land on the porch railing, shaking loose a tiny cascade of powder. Or the snow could continue, and the clearing could remain blank and perfect for another day.